Hi there. Okay, this is Marya, and we are not doing Pain to Power. It's just me today, and I'm sharing some thoughts. So hopefully you're watching this on YouTube and you're tuning in to my channel, Brown Girl Interrupting. Make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe for my live show on Pain to Power, which is every Sunday at 8 p.m. And I have a really cool guest coming up next week, or you just tune in because I'm going to be sharing some stories sometimes, right? So here's the thing. I have been writing and writing and writing for a really long time. And before I had Pain to Power, I was a writer. And I wrote because I was going through a really tough moment in time. I divorced or really separated, right? I separated and then eventually divorced my husband of 17 years. And I had 4 children at the time. And at the time when I did it, I had a 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a less than 2-year-old. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And parenting has probably been the biggest challenge in my healing journey because there's really big ebbs and flows. And so sometimes things are just absolutely amazing. And I write about that. And then sometimes things are so painful, it feels like a dagger to my heart. And I write about that. And both things have been hard and good and all the things, but I've learned a lot, right? So here's my learning. When I think I don't write about this. So I'm being totally honest, unfiltered here because I haven't actually really openly talked about this because I didn't know how to. So here you go on YouTube. So I'm doing it. um, but when my youngest son was what in the hell? When my youngest son was, um, 14 years old, 15 years old, 15 years old, and he started to, be well, I guess, like, he was old enough and he wanted to really, live with his dad, right? He came to me and he said, "Can I live with my dad?" And that was a really big hit for me because, my children have been with me all the time, right? Like, from the time they were babies, always with me, and when I separated, they were with me all the time. They visited their dad every other weekend, and then they were with me, and then COVID happened, and when COVID happened, it was a little different with the schedule because the children weren't going to school, and so we were able to alternate full weeks back and forth, and that changed the game, um, which was good in many ways, um, because they did get to see their father more. But it was really hard because the end result was that my son came to me after COVID was starting to lift and kids were going back to in person school. And he said, I've been doing online school with COVID, but now it's going back in person. And I want to attend um, a school in dad's neighborhood and I want to live with dad. And that was like a gut punch. um, it was a big gut punch because I wasn't ready for it. But who am I to be a mom to be like, no, you can't live with your dad. You're a boy. You shouldn't go live with your dad. But he did, So he did. He went, he lived with his dad. And so I went from seeing my son every day, all the time, to every other weekend, every other weekend. And that was a really big shift. It was a really big shift. And it was already lots of other dynamics that made it challenging because the truth is, my boys, and I write about this, my boys were not happy when I separated. And our relationship was strained for a really long time. And part of it was me, and part of it was them. And a lot of it was someone who wanted to constantly create chaos in our relationship. So it was really hard to heal. because every time I would heal, I would get hurt again. And this one was a big hurt because this is what I realized after spending a weekend with my second son and his wife, whom are living in Hampton, Virginia, because he's stationed there, and it's like a 3-hour drive, and they came up, and when they come up, they stay with me. I'm home, right? So they stay with me, and it's lovely, and I love it, but, like, what I realize is that it's the micro moments that create connection and intimacy and bonds between people, and because they were here, I saw them in the mornings and I would, offer them things to eat, or they would offer to do things for me, or, we'd talk or we'd joke around about something, or something funny would happen, or I'd get a text and then I'd share it with my son or my daughter in law. And we'd have, like, just these small micro moments. And that is what builds relationships, those intimate micro moments. So when my 15-year-old son left to go live with his dad, guess what there wasn't of anymore? No more micro moments. No more conversations before he's off to school, or a quick, like, how was your day? Or what's happening in this class? Or I can glance over and see what you're working on. And so let's talk about it. No more good nights that just kind of linger a little bit and you talk about something, or you share a funny story, or you joke around about your other siblings that they have, right? Like, no more of those. No more of, I can see you had a bad day. What do you need? Or can I fix you a snack? Or, um, hey, who's that kid you're talking to? And who are you on the phone with? Who are your friends? No more. And for me, it was a lot at the time. It was a lot and it was painful and it was hard. And particularly, what was hard was that I had a quiet boy. And if you have a quiet kid and you also don't get to see your child that often, it is almost virtually impossible to stay in connection with them because they're not texters, they're not talkers. And when you see them every other week as a weekend as a teenager, they're like brooding in their room on their phones, right? Micro moments break that, right? Micro moments make a connection where you're able to just feel comfortable and safe with someone, that you're yourself. And when my son left for his full high school years, it was all of them, all of them. And then after living with his dad for all that time, he left to go to Vermont to go to school. And here I am, his very first summer, and I haven't seen him at all. I've talked to him, but I haven't seen him at all because he's in basic training for the Army. Because he's that kid. He's an amazing kid. And I didn't get to watch the development. But what I am absolutely grateful for, and this is how things work, right, is that I missed out on that. And our relationship has required a lot of extra effort and work, and mostly on my part, because I'm the parent and that's what you're supposed to do, right? But it's also been on his part, and he's made the effort, and we've become closer, strangely enough, since he's left this area, which I kind of knew, because you can only grow when you're not in toxic environments, and when you leave toxic environments, you finally grow, right? So part of it is that, and it's because I had to be intentional, right? So, like, I I totally believe these micro moments, intimate connections with your children, with your spouses, with your boyfriends, with people you're getting to know, those are the moments when you have micro opportunities to build relationships. And when you are a mother and your child makes a decision to leave you to go live with their other parent at a pinnacle age like 15 to 18, you miss those moments. You don't get them anymore. And I didn't. I missed a lot of moments with my son, and I'm working to undo that damage. But I just thought about it and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's so important for us to think about those. Like, what are those little moments that you have that you don't even realize? You probably maybe you might take for granted because I probably did for a little while that build that connection you have with the people you live with, whether it's your kids or someone you love. What do you do? Is it the way you greet them in the morning? Is it the good nights? Is it just the way you share space? Like, let's make dinner. And, when my son was living with me, we made dinner. And when he made dinner, he was my sous chef. And he was my sous chef and he would cut things and I would talk, I would be cooking and we'd be chatting and be talking about cooking and all of it was gone really, really quickly. So I say all this because it's so important, right? Those micro moments. But also the other thing is that I realize is for me, I'm a full package. I'm a full package, which is that I come with my children because there are four of them and they're my kids, right? Like, so I come with my kids, which every woman does. But what you have to understand is for single mothers, they not only come with their kids, they come with the dynamics that they have fought to maintain and and pull into their lives sometimes from being mothers because especially if you are with a toxic ex, it was not easy to bring joy into parenting. It was not easy to bridge differences between and amongst your children. It was not easy for them to just maintain a family structure when kids may be believing that it's a broken family structure. You have to show your kids that it's a whole family structure even if it's just you and them. And all that is the stuff that a single mom is going to come with. And it can't be checked at the door. And I say all that because it did. Like, it impacted my ability to find people because I'm a big, heavy package in all the great ways, but in also all the complex ways. Because, yeah, I have four kids, three of them are grown men. And we have had our challenges, which means that our dynamics are not always perfect, which means that I will have moments where they crush me a little because they're still healing. And until they really have figured out all their healing, they're still going to hurt me. I know that. And I might even hurt them because I'm still healing. So it's kind of a cycle and it's kind of just the pattern of life, but it's part of who I am. And it's part of who a lot of single mothers are. And it's just something to consider. So if you're a single mom who's ever had to separate from her kid for whatever reason, but you had to, and you struggled through that, I'd love to hear your story. And maybe if you're with someone who's a single mom or you're in a relationship with them or you know them as a friend and you've seen them go through these ups and downs, I'm curious to know what you've understood differently as a friend or a partner or a lover or whatever you are in their lives or a spouse, right? And yeah, that's it. Just curious. So this is it. This was Marya's musing. I think I had one whole live guest. Just all right. Hopefully you're tuning into me now. And if you like this, hit the like button and share a comment because I'll do it more. I'll talk more. I'll share more. I learn lots of things from my life and I can always share them. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. for Brown Girl Interrupting for Pain to Power, which is my show on interviewing individuals who have taken their pain and turned it into their power. And you are not going to want to miss all the upcoming guests I have, some amazing people. I've got musicians, I've got writers, I've got philosophers, I've got deep, deep, deep thinkers who have so many layers in their lives to unpack and uncover and share with you and me for another episode and many episodes of Pain to Power. I'm also a writer, so go check me out at www.browngirlinterrupting.com. That's my website. I've got my blog, and I've been writing profusely lately. So I've got writing about professional development and leadership. I've got writing about parenting because, that's the one. I recently became a mother in law. So it's a whole nother writing that I've been doing. And I write about romance and love and healing. I write some fiction, I write some poetry. Um, I just, that's how I've been healing. And I like to share it with others. So tune in, share, just follow me, subscribe, all the good things. And yeah, that's it. This is me, Marya's Musings, unfiltered and honest.